What are your budget priorities?
Budget priorities. I would like to first start out by saying I believe in transparency and will respect the opportunity to serve by making sure we educate all our children as best as possible and as efficiently utilize every taxpayer dollar. My budget priority is quality. Teachers deserve quality pay. They deserve it. I'll be laser focused on that. Reason being is because we want to keep our teachers here in Aledo. They do deserve. If we're going to hold our teachers put them up on a pedestal, we should try to keep them by focusing on rewarding them and awarding them for the excellent job they did here. That is my laser focus on budget priorities.
In terms of budget priorities, I think one thing I'm in favor of is spending money in the classroom. I think that's an effective way to educate. I want to make sure that our teachers are equipped and they've got what they need so that they can focus on education and not be distracted by other things. One thing I'd like to see us build on is our GT programs. We spend less as a percent than districts like Hazel or Fort Worth and considerably less than districts like Carroll. I'd like to see us improve in that. And maybe not just in GT, but other accelerated learners. I'd like to see those programs expanded. Another budget priority for me that I've heard, as I've attended board meetings for a while, I've heard people talk about, but I'd like to move on, is I'd like to see us plan for recurring expenses rather than keep putting them on bonds. That's in our plan on a page, that we have long-range replacement schedules. And yet what we're doing in one of these bonds is instead of putting that long-range replacement schedule in our maintenance budget, we're financing it. As part of our strategy, I'd like to stick to that.
Thank you. My role as a board member, I see as a steward of taxpayers' dollars to best educate our children. Our priority should be in the education of our children. So we should have teachers. Our current board, we've given, in the time I've been, we've given our teachers 3% raises over each of the last 2 years. And we've, even through a bad financial situation and the state taking away money, we've supported our teachers. Do we need to move up? Yes, obviously. I think the board understands that and wants to better appreciate our teachers. But we need adequate teachers that is well-trained and stayed with the district a long time. And we need rooms. That's why we have a bond to make sure that we have rooms for our students and that they're not in portable classrooms. I personally don't like portable classrooms. I think there's a problem securing a portable classroom. I think there's problems with noise. I think there's problems getting kids in and out through this rain and snow that happens. So these are my priorities as a board member. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First, we've got to, when the bond passes, we need to spend that money with transparency and appropriately. If the bond doesn't pass, then we've got to institute some things for, just as Mr. Denman said and Dr. Tillman, replacement scheduling, knowing what we need to put into our budgets on a recurring basis to do that. But I definitely believe we need to support teachers. But I don't think we need to raise teachers. I think we need to restructure the salary. It's not a good structure because once you're a new teacher, you go downhill from there. We've got excellent tenured teachers and we want to keep them as long as we can. Keep them from retiring, so I think we need to do that. And we also need to support technology. Technology is the future. We have to have that technology infrastructure that will allow our students to do the research, to do the online work that they need to do.
I'm going to first distinguish between capital budgets and operating budgets. As far as the priority with regard to the operating budget, retaining and attracting the top quality educators and administrators that we have is my number one priority. Because with good people and with good leaders, everything is possible. Without that, everything is very hard to get done. And I'm speaking from experience there. So from my budget, that's my number one priority. Now that if we have the folks, then we need to provide them the tools by which to do their job. And classrooms with a new elementary school and the right technology infrastructure, those are the tools that they need to get their job done and do it well. So that's on the capital side.
I worked preparing budgets and financial plans before I married Trey, and I think everyone has a out great points in the budget that we need to address. But I feel like for me, going in and looking at that budget, I feel like a key piece is understanding the numbers and being able to communicate them and being able to put the budget together in a form that the community understands and that we are able to communicate. And then I think that as we steward that money, we show how we're using it so that the education in Aledo is excellent and that we keep